Hello, welcome to my channel, Becoming Bev. I'm back here with Larry from the Toyota 4Runner video. When we did that video, we discussed the possibility of him doing some tweaking on my van. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about tweaking the van.
We're really going to do this? We're going to go in there and tear everything out of your van and start all over?
I'm seriously already having separation anxiety about this. But I know it'll be a good thing. After being in the van now for a little over 3 months, I know what works, I know what doesn't work, I know what I need and what I don't need. Part of this pit stop will be unloading the van and seeing everything that I packed that I thought I would need and I don't need. And also just, I feel like it's important at this point to kind of tweak the space. Like I feel like the kitchen setup needs some help, the bed platform needs some help, the drawers, they're just a hassle.
The goal is to have some more lockable pull-out drawers, give you the ability to access things without having to unpack other things. But in general, if we do a good job, we'll tear it all apart, put it all back together, and you'll never know we did it. And we're gonna go find all those little hidden inches that we can use to get a little more usability in there.
Yeah, in the van, every little bit of storage and literally every inch counts.
All right, so I made some assumptions and kind of just want to go through them because a while ago when you picked up your keys, I saw the difference between you and me. I mean,
all right, let me get the keys and just show you.
So throw that up here.
This is my keychain.
So we're different people.
It's got my tape measure on there, you know, my little kitty cat tape measure.
But these are my keys. So obviously the way...
I've got my mace on here, you know, and I never have to look.
And then what is this? Is this Sasquatch? What is that?
Shut up. Apparently I have a little bunny thing going on in the van. Yeah, so I never have to look for my keys. They're pretty easy to find.
Right. I don't want to make assumptions of how I would use the van. I want to make sure it works for you because obviously you and I are not the same person.
Got it.
And being the overly planning type A person I am, I've got, you know, plans and specifications and different layouts.
He's drawn out the kitchen cabinet setup. That's what I love about you, Larry, is you're very precise and you have a very high level of ingenuity and your craftsmanship is amazing. Where do we start? What do we need to do?
I guess we can get up and kind of lift the skirt a little bit on the girl and, you know.
Alrighty, here we go.
And take a look at how the van is actually built.
It's okay, Jennifer.
Well, no, you got a nice skirt around the bed. You know, we're gonna.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let's do it. So first of all, lifting the skirt on this gal, the bed skirt. These drawers, they're kind of a pain in the ass. Like honestly, because I have the packing cubes in there, so I pull them out. And I love how they're organized. I'd like to keep the packing cubes, but when I go to push them back in there, it would be really nice to have those on slide outs.
Okay. Like one of the things I want to deal with is like sharp corners and stuff.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm not like Mr. Safety Conscious, but I am a little bit. The other place I saw that there was a lot of room for gaining more storage was the thickness of all of this. Okay. Yeah. So all of this is pretty bulky. And so if we can capture some of this space, you know, maybe we can get more room here. This is a pretty big area under the bed, but you've only got 8 inches to get to it. I was thinking that either we center the drawer up and have, because this space would be easy to get to because it's right inside the door.
Right.
I would rather use the 6 inches here and not here, and then make the drawer, you know, fully functional, and maybe the drawer's a little wider, a little narrower, or whatever.
Yep.
But then the rest of the space that's back in there, I want to walk around on the back side of the kitchen. I think there's an opportunity to get to that space easier from that side. The whole bed's coming out.
What?
Yeah, it's... I mean, it's all coming out. One reason to do that is there's actually space right in the middle of your bed that's a little too far from the back door, a little too far from here. There's a little bit of dead area there. So
you haven't seen me climb all the way up under the bed to retrieve things, have you?
no.
I can get to it.
It would be nice if you have doors on the front. You could get a utensil drawer and some food storage drawers.
Okay, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be truly
like,
amazing.
where do you keep your food now? Where is it?
Really? In this box right here.
Okay.
That's one of them. And then I have another box right here. So that's the second box. And then I have a few things tucked up in that overhead compartment right there. I mean, it's accessible inside the van, and that was the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
Now, something that kind of bugs me is the trash can right here. Like, I like it being right behind the seat so I can access it while I'm driving, but I can't get it in and out.
Right.
Like, I've torn the edge off the cabinet, you know, just trying to squeeze this little trash can to get it in and out. So if we could come up with a solution for that, that would be super. You weren't counting on that one, were you?
No.
Okay, so what else do you need to see in here?
Let's go to the back of the kitchen cabinet. I think getting rid of some of this 2x4 construction, there's 6 inches right there, you know, right, that we can access.
I agree completely.
Back that way, there's room for, if we do a water tank and a battery, how do we build this part of the cabinet? Really, I think the kitchen cabinet is going to be incorporated into the bed structure. If we do add the water tank, then this one goes away. The gray is still there, it's still easy to dump, but because this one is gone, now we're going to take the stove out of here, turn it up here and put it in a dedicated spot.
Okay.
All of this area is now drawers and food storage.
Okay.
Basically, all of these 2 boxes you just pulled out would fit down here easily. And you would have a utensil drawer that would take a good bit of this up here.
So you want to see the back now?
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of like having a little bit of gap here between the door and this for this kind of stuff. As soon as you open the door, if you can grab something you use a lot, is not a bad idea. It's hard to see on the camera, but back up in here where all these 2x4s are, there's space back in there, and you know, you've got all of this width right here. When we get done with this, it's going to be 1 inch wide, and you're going to have 2 drawers, I think, right here that can just pull out. The things we're probably going to change is a pull out for all your clothes, a more refined kitchen that's got food storage.
Yep.
And then one of these is going to be a pull out. Things that you don't get very often, you just pack them in there, and if you need to get it, you'll just put on your headlight and go under there and find it. We'll make sure not to disturb Brad Pitt.
Oh, he's coming in the house with me.
Yes.
I'm not going to leave him in here, Larry. What kind of van companion would I be? That's what's going to be going on with Jennifer for a while. I'm going to be leaving her with Larry, dealing with my separation anxiety, and hopefully, Larry, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but hopefully you'll do some videos.
Yeah, I'll send you some updates.
Perfect.
Especially of the demolition.
Oh, God. So I'll share those videos with you with the progress of this version 3.0 of my van. Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'll do a build video. I'll take video of how I'm doing it and kind of how I do it. You know, more of like a construction deal. I'm going to do that. So
sweet. All right. So Larry, I have a question for you. We've kind of talked about this before. Like, would you be interested in kind of getting into the van conversion business? Or you talked about your brother's box truck, which I would love a video tour of that one. Would you be interested in doing that? Like,
oh, absolutely. I mean, one of your viewers already reached out to me about that dual battery setup. She had a Land Cruiser, so yeah. And I think I like the carpentry, and there's a lot of people doing van builds, but some of them are over the top gorgeous and expensive. You know, that's not my niche. I like helping people out, you know, to get them on the road and do stuff. And like, I really enjoyed, I've seen some of Bob Wells' other videos. Some people, you know, you don't need to spend a fortune to get down the road and do it.
That's
I mean, you started off fairly basic.
Yeah,
you know,
some 2x4s and some plywood.
Yeah, this was a trip to Lowe's, and you know,
was.
and so I think people start with there. But then what I like is I like the problem solving part. I like the Tetris nature of what do you get in here? I'm a puzzle solver, a problem solver.
I think you nailed it when you said everything that I use every day, I really want it inside the van and I want it accessible. I don't want to have to get out of the van to use my everyday things.
Yeah.
And the things that are stored, you know, under the bed that I access from the back are my once in a while I need this things, or things like my toolbox and my emergency stuff. I don't need it all the time, but it does need to be with me in the van.
Yeah, I've been thinking about building vans for a while, and some of these were ones that I think everybody needs to think about.
Okay.
And I'll just run through some of those. With all vans, you have to decide, how are you dealing with a shower? How are you dealing with electric? How are you dealing with hot water? How are you dealing with storage? Things like that. Those are all concepts that you have to think about. You do like running water and you like having water.
I do.
But right now the challenge is hot water.
All right, I have something else to show you.
Okay.
So right there in the window of the van, I have
Yeah.
a gallon jug of water.
Yeah.
Because sitting it right there heats up the water.
Right.
So right now, that's my water heater.
Yeah, no, solar is, you know, a lot of people will have something on their roof, a black,
Okay.
they'll build it out of PVC, and there's a thing called a road shower that a lot of the Jeep guys and everything use, and it's
Okay.
just a big long piece of PVC with a water hose hooked up to it, and that's what they do. There's solutions, because putting a water heater in a vehicle this size becomes a challenge. It's either going to take a lot of electricity or it's going to take propane, and right now we're not talking about putting a whole separate propane system in this yet. I think if we just increase your water capacity, because what you had, your 5 gallons was plenty to cook and eat and things like that, but if we give you a little more water, you could take probably 2 showers and not change what you've got. I've given a lot of thought to your electrical system. You know, right now you've been using the Jackery, and I think that's worked for you, but you mentioned that you always have to keep track of if it's charged or things like that. And so I got to thinking, you move a good bit, or you're plugged in and doing the mooch stocking. So there's this thing called a DC to DC charger that you can take power off of your alternator from your engine, and it will charge a battery in the back of the in the van, and it's just, you know, automatic. You don't have to think about it. It doesn't put any extra strain on the vehicle because of the circuitry that's in that charger. And I think that's a good solution. If you have a good sized battery and then use that DC to DC charger, the generator will just basically be for your air conditioner. You won't have to worry about, oh, I need to charge my battery. It is a smart circuit. So when you start your car and you're driving down the road, it will pull a portion of the electricity off of the alternator, because the alternator off the engine produces quite a bit of power. It charges your battery to start your car really quick. Once you've gotten down the road and you've replaced the energy you used to start the car,
Okay.
you've got excess capacity from that alternator. That can sit there and now charge the battery in the back. As soon as you turn the key off, it knows that you turned the key off, and it will disconnect itself from your battery. So it cannot drain your start battery.
Okay.
We'll have to look and see how it's laid out,
Okay.
and we'll decide, what do you want to run off of your start battery and what do you want to run off the spare battery? Say I was out boondocking for a couple days and there's a chance I might leave a light on, or I've got USB outlets everywhere in my truck. If I've got something plugged in, I don't want to ever take a chance of running the battery down. I always want to be able to start up and leave.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that I put on the other battery.
So like, I would love to be able to not have to manage the refrigerator cord. So the way that it's set up right now, when I'm driving, I unplug the cord from the refrigerator and plug it into the DC outlet in the van. And then when I have electricity, I have to unplug it and plug it into the electrical outlet. And it's actually causing quite a bit of wear and tear on that fridge. Like, Misty and I were in Florida and I had her unplug it, and I know to be careful with it. She didn't know to be careful with it, and she pulled the whole unit out of the refrigerator. We had an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
You know, fortunately I had some needle nose pliers with me and I was able to reattach that.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to not have to manage that.
Right. So I should have started with that, because that's really the whole purpose. You want to know that you've got your food in there, you can go several days, there's no back and forth. The fridge is just always running off the other battery. It's just those kind of refinements of what you're doing to give you a little more comfort in the fact that, yeah, this is, I've got this thing worked out and everything's where I want it. And
I like it.
because a lot of people, they start off with a build and they've never been on the road before, so then they need to change some stuff.
Oh, for
so,
sure,
yeah.
for sure. So this will be, when you get finished with this will be Jennifer Vaniston version 3.0.
Right.
All right, Larry,
All right.
let's do this.
Yeah, now you got to unpack this thing.
I do. Thank you for being here today. I hope you found this interesting. I'm excited about this next phase. If you keep watching, I'll keep posting content.